Hi Year 4, it's Wednesday and it's story time. You're in for a real treat today because Mrs. Donnelly has done not one, but two story times. The first story is about how Mrs. D met Donkey, and you're going to laugh your head off. I've just been crying laughing. It's such a funny story. So enjoy it, and then the next video you watch will be the next part of Ivan. Enjoy. Bye.
Good afternoon, Year 4. Here I am again, Mrs. D with Donkey. I've got my cup of tea ready in my sheet mug, and I'm going to tell you the story of how Donkey and I met. Now, I've had to write this down as a story because I do tend to drift off, don't I, and talk about other things. So Donkey and myself have had a talk this morning and we've written it as a story for you to enjoy. So we're going to read this one first, and then I'm going to do another video about Ivan. So I hope you enjoy this story. So it was about 5 years, wasn't it, Donkey, when we met, even though Donkey seems to think it was about 30. But we have talked about this, haven't we, Donkey? So it was about 5 years ago. I went on holiday to Whitby with my family, and we had a gorgeous week. So every day I went down to the beach because I do love donkeys, and I like to see the donkeys with the riders on, and they go up and down the beach, up and down the beach, up and down the beach, and it's absolutely gorgeous to watch, isn't it? Okay, unless you get on a donkey who doesn't move all the time. Right, well, one of my favourite donkeys at that particular year was Molly. She was so gentle and she was so kind and plump. She reminded me of somebody, not sure who though. And then there was Joan. Now, Joan was a really old donkey. She was of old school. She'd go tally-ho, and she'd set off down the beach. She really enjoyed it, but her rider had to hold on really, really tight because she'd go really fast. But Joan loved her job that much that she used to smile. Now, donkeys, when they smile, they show all the front teeth, don't they? And when she was smiling, it was that bright, you had to look away because they were blinding, her teeth. And it always used to remind me when I looked at Joan, it reminded me of another time when my mum and me went on holiday and we went to the fair and we went on the Dodgems. Now, if you know what Dodgems are like, they're cars, and the idea of the game is that another Dodgem behind you will bang into you and you had to try and dodge through the cars so that you didn't get hurt in a way. Anyway, what happened was my mum enjoyed it so much she was laughing, and a chap from behind smacked into our car that hard that she opened her mouth and her false teeth came out. And it was like slow-mo. It was, oh no. And all I could hear was my dad saying, Joyce, Joyce, your teeth. Anyway, they came out of her mouth into the air, sailed through the air. Everyone were looking in horror, and they landed in a Vickers ice cream. It was really shocking. The poor man was just minding his own business, carrying on, and there it was, in his double scoop, some false teeth landed. We were so embarrassed. My mum could just eat ice cream all week because she couldn't eat anything else because she'd no teeth in. Anyway, getting back to Donkey. So Donkey was spending his summer vacation in a shop window overlooking the promenade. And every day, the donkeys who were working on the beach would walk back and forth because they used to love giving the riders a lovely little trip. However, they were not happy about a lazy donkey who used to make fun of them. As they had to work, he sat in the shop window shouting, yoo-hoo, as he ate sticks of rock. So he was giving donkeys a bad name, and the donkeys didn't like it, as donkeys by nature are very hard-working creatures. He was being lazy. Anyway, I wasn't the only one to notice this bad behaviour, because at one time there was a young boy standing there, and he was watching Donkey intently. He'd got a rubber ring round his tummy, and he'd got armbands on. And Donkey, I know you don't like me to say this, but it needs to be said. Donkey stared at him, and then he stuck his tongue out at him. Well, the boy was horrified. And he'd just been to the shop next door, and he'd bought a plastic tarantula. He'd got it in his fist, really tight like that. And in anger at Donkey, he threw it. Well, what a kerfuffle. It landed right on Donkey's head. I have never heard such an awful noise in all my life. What a racket. Donkey didn't know that the spider wasn't really sea, and he began to bray and scream. What a palaver. Well, suddenly, Donkey, this is the time we met, he saw me in the distance and he launched himself at me, screaming in donkey language, which meant, "Save me, save me." Well, the shopkeeper was absolutely furious with Donkey, as he was fed up with him as well, as he was fed up of Donkey eating him out of house and home and all the sticks of rock. So the shopkeeper said to me, "Just take him, as all he does is laugh at the other donkeys and eat all my rock." And that's how we met. So when I brought him home that day, we had a talk, and Donkey realised that his actions were not donkey-like at all. They were very unkind. So he had to write a letter of apology to the shop assistant and the shopkeeper and all the donkeys. And we do visit every year since, don't we? And he has made friends now. He has made friends with the donkey and they have forgiven him. But he's still very lazy, aren't you? Still lazy, because all he wants to do is watch Hey Dougie all day, don't you? So that's the story of how Donkey and myself met. So because it's been such quite a long video, and I know you really did want to know about our relationship and how we met, and I do look after him. We do get our daily exercise, don't we, Donkey? He sits on my shoulder and I walk him round. So that's how we met. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get myself another drink and I will be with you in a few moments and we will talk again. Bye for now.